Yeah.
Hey, leave him alone.
Constructive criticism.
Mm-hmm. I missed the pen.
My name is Kasen Schamaun, and I want to first off thank you for your time. I really appreciate this. So, they've landed presidents in hot water. They've sparked a national debate over privacy. They're new and they're hot. I'm, of course, talking about drones. Drones were once only a part of government life, used for warfare and surveillance, but due to technological advances, they are now available to anybody. Anybody with $50 up to $5,000. There are 1 million drone users in the US according to the FAA, and according to them, that number is going to double in 2 years. I myself am a drone owner, and I'm constantly asked questions while I'm operating, usually for interest, but sometimes in disdain. So I think it's good that the average person understand what a drone is and what they're doing with that drone. And to do that, we have to understand the basics of what is a drone, what are drones used for, and the recreational laws around drones. So to begin, this is my drone. It's a prosumer level drone used for cinematography, but it encapsulates the average drone very well. As you can see, it has 4 blades here, and that affects the altitude, the speed, and the direction it goes. The front mounted camera, so I can see where I'm going, and it can record video. This is the controller for it. What's really nice about this is they're simple to use. If I'm flying it and I simply release my hands off the controller, it will stay where it is and it won't dive or keep ascending or keep going in the direction, and it'll simply just stop. So that's very nice. A drone like this or others similar can be bought really anywhere. Places like Target or Walmart sell them, but if you're looking for a bigger range, you can go to places like B&H Photo, or the all-knowing Amazon has them as well. So now we know what a drone is and what it looks like and where we can buy them. Now, what are the uses for them? When we hear the word drone, we usually think of the government, which is just because the government utilizes drones for warfare and surveillance. We use it so much actually that we have the largest fleet of drones at 7,500, and that number is looking to grow as $32 billion is being poured into research in the next 10 years on drones. A smaller use for drones is definitely things like search and rescue, things like inspecting buildings, inspecting antique buildings to see what they're doing, or looking at windmills to see if they're operating properly or do maintenance on them. But the most common use of drones is definitely recreation, and that can look like a cinematographer getting amazing views, or somebody on vacation who just wants to see something interesting. Now, within that realm of things, there comes a slew of issues. Most people do not understand the basic drone laws. Now, the most common misconception with flying a drone is that you do not have to keep it in your line of sight, because these drones have a range of 4 miles, so you think you are able to use that range, but that is very incorrect. You must keep your drone in your line of sight, because if you lose that line of sight, it could hit a tree, it could hit a building and cause property damage, it could land on a person and seriously injure somebody. The second most misleading law regarding drones is that you must not fly them over private property. So you can't fly them over your neighborhood, you can't fly them over businesses, you can't fly them anywhere that you don't own or don't have consent to fly over. And then this is when it gets really tricky with drones as well. You cannot fly them over high human traffic areas. So if you go to your local park and there's a lot of people around, you cannot fly it due to the fact that it may fall out of the sky and seriously hurt somebody. You can't fly it over roads, obviously, because the same scenario. So really the only place you can fly a drone is your own private property or property that you have consent to fly over. Now this actually brings me to the most misconceiving part about drones, is when you go to the Rocky Mountains and you look at that beautiful forestry, you think, oh my gosh, this shot's going to be amazing. But if you're in a national park, that is very illegal to fly your drone there. Because actually what you're doing is you could be disrupting wildlife, you could be disrupting other people's interaction with wildlife, and that's the last thing they want. So, basically you can't fly anywhere, but they are interesting. I hope this speech will help you because you definitely will run into somebody using a drone, and instead of snapping to a decision that they're doing something wrong or illegal, you'll understand what they're doing. But if they are actually doing something wrong and illegal, you understand that and can do with that information as you will. I really appreciate your time. Thank you.
Can we introduce Abby? Abby wants to be introduced.
So little
Come on, Abby.
noises.
Come on, Abby. She
And you
was.
heard scratching, it was Abby.
Come on, Abby's. Come on.
What the hell are you guys
She
doing?
was
You guys
so
do to me.
sad. We should have put her in a kennel, huh?